The people have spoken. Kelby is out of the podcast. Removed. We are the true hosts of Men on the Internet. My name is Juan Villalobos del Cabron, and my co-host is
Sunil. Yes, I use my real name.
All right, sounds
Gatonde.
good.
And we could tell everybody the truth about Kelby. Ice Spice put out a brand new music video with Nicki Minaj. Boy needed a whole week to recover from the video, so he decided to just give us the reins of this one while he's in recovery. It's all good. He'll be back next time around. We wish the boy Kelby
best of luck.
Yeah.
You know.
Let's just say he went through a lot of bottles.
There you go.
Of lotion. But yeah, Chris, how's everything going with you, my man?
Good, brother. Today is a busy day. Let me tell you, I've been driving around the city today for work, which is the first time I've driven around the city in a while for work. I am so spoiled working from home because I hate traffic with the passion. I hate traffic. I was going from Burbank to North Hollywood, where I live, and it took so long. First of all, Google Maps is like, I'll take you the best way, and then it takes you like 6 ways to Sunday to get to home.
Right.
And then you hit the freeway, and everyone
parking lot
is an asshole. No one wants to let you merge. Everyone's like, I didn't see you there. Blah, 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 honking horns. I'm like, yo. I used to do the commute from Burbank to Reseda when I worked at Warner Brothers, and I had forgotten how much I hated that commute. And I did that same commute today, and I was like, damn, I'm so glad I work from home, man. Because I couldn't do that every day no more.
And you stayed in the valley the whole time. Imagine if you have to actually go into the city and everything.
I did. You know? I went all the way down to like Dominguez Hills and then all the way back up. So
yeah, that's not
anyway.
How are you, sir? Doing well. I'm actually going to your neck of the woods tomorrow. I'm flying to Chicago for work.
Oh, nice.
So I'll be out there.
Say hi to this family, the second family.
Yeah, I'll make sure to say what's up to, the side fam or the main fam. I don't know which one's main and side at this point in time. But
legally, we'll never know.
But I'm definitely going to try some deep dish. I used to live in Chicago, so there's a couple spots I definitely want to try. But what I'm not excited about is my friend sent me what the weather was over there, and it's 32 degrees.
Oh, it's still cold out there.
Yeah, I guess it just got cold. So go figure. Right when I'm about to go, they want to make the weather brutal. So we'll see.
Not too bad. Are you going to be proper Chicago in the city?
Nah, never. Who wants to be proper Chicago in the city, bro? It is crazy over there. At least internet makes me feel like I don't want to be proper Chicago in the city. Right. Yeah, I'm going to be burbs.
Cool. I think I stayed downtown, I don't know, a handful of times, and then I would just be like west of the city, like out in Warrenville, kind of.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
As long as you weren't south side, you should be fine.
It wasn't south side. No, I didn't get a chance. Though I heard the best fucking chicken is down in south side. So
yeah, I'm sure the best everything is in south side. It's just you got to earn it clearly because to make it out the south side, you got to be on one. But
exactly.
Speaking about Italian food, you like that segue?
There you go. Proud of you. You're getting there. That was fluid.
No, but I don't. Have you seen the new Mario movie?
I haven't had a chance to. I'm usually one of those people that goes to see those goofy movies like first weekend, but I haven't had a chance to.
Yeah, well, it's been kind of interesting because animated movies haven't really done that well as of late. I can't think of the last animated movie that did extremely, extremely well.
Puss in Boots. Puss in Boots did real well.
Gotcha. Okay. So that wasn't too long ago, but it's not what we're talking about. Well, I mean, Mario's breaking records, right? I just looked at the numbers; are almost at 700 million, and I think they've only been out for a couple weeks now.
I think a week.
Sure. Okay, cool. So it's already the biggest movie of 2023. And they're saying it might even break Maverick's record, which I think they had broken the record as far as gross movie say. So it's kind of interesting. I mean, I haven't seen it. Obviously, it's a nostalgia movie similar to Maverick. However, whenever there's a little bit of success, Chris, you know what the Twitterverse, you know what the internet, you know what the people are gonna start doing. Let's make it political. So I kind of wanted to get your sense of, one, why you think this movie did so well, right? But also, the narrative is, the main character, the voice of Mario is Chris Pratt.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Pratt is a very vocal in his Christianity.
Very true. So
the narrative from the right, I guess, is the reason why this movie is doing so well is like anti-woke and not necessarily anti-woke, but people could trust that it's not going to be woke and push this agenda down your throat. To me, that agenda down my throat is nasty paws altogether. But give me a sense. I mean, this movie obviously did really, really big. Maverick, like I said, did really, really big. Do you buy into this whole narrative that these movies are doing well because they are quote unquote non-woke movies?
Not really, because I feel like I gotta go back to Puss in Boots because that's the last animated movie I saw. But there was like people the main character walked out on a marriage, like he left somebody at the altar. Like that's an animated movie, and you're bringing out these like heavy topics, and you're like, whoa, what the hell? And then like the dog character was abandoned, and it was like borderline animal abuse, the whole thing, all the things he was saying. So it's like, I don't think it's not woke. I just think depending on the franchise, they're not going to try to make those jokes. It just depends on like what it is. I know the Mario movie did good because it was backed by Illumination, which did the heavy hitters, the Despicable Me's, the Minions, all that stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they already have a good track record, plus the Mario franchise is huge. Like you don't realize video game nerds are one of the biggest audiences like of all time. So a video game movie coming out, looking this good, sounding this good, backed by Illumination, that's probably why it did super well. Even this all-star cast too, like Jack Black and Charlie Day and Chris Pratt and all that stuff. So
your boy John Leguizamo though wasn't feeling it.
He wasn't feeling it from the get-go. Like from the mention of the movie, he was like, there's not enough Hispanic people. And he was in the first Super Mario movie.
He thought there was way too many whites. And there wasn't
Italian enough. Plumber movie. Like, what do you want? That's what it's gonna be, He wanted more brown people in it. I still stand with Leguizamo, but I don't know. I think he was reaching for this one,
Yeah. I mean, look, I think the narratives are crazy. I think there's something to be said for movies that promote like the wokeness. And, I don't necessarily think, the things you mentioned about Puss in Boots, I don't know if that's quote unquote like what people consider the woke stuff. I think it's more kind of the LGBTQ kind of stuff that gets pushed, or, some of the political type stuff. But even in this, I mean, there's something to be said when it's just like in your face, and that's like literally, it doesn't seem like there's a movie. They're just trying to push this narrative. I can understand why those movies don't do well, but I don't think that's the reason why this movie did so well. I think that's just kind of the right jumping on. I think, like you mentioned, nostalgia is big, and you look at the other movie, Maverick, that did huge numbers too. Right. Those are both movies that like people go back to their younger years and like can like have like a memory that is tied into that, right? So like whether it be Top Gun or Mario now, like I remember sitting there and playing Mario and like getting to the Sega and trying to trying to save the princess and stuff like that. Exactly. Yeah. So I think these movies where you can take your kids, but you still want to go see that movie as well, those are the type of movies that I think do these huge type of numbers. And I think Maverick was like that as well, where Maverick was a movie where younger generation maybe wanted to go just because it was like a Tom Cruise movie and like airplanes and all this kind of stuff. But then the adults that taking their kids also wanted to go because they saw the original Top Gun and wanted to see how it kind of was. And I feel like that's the same kind of realm as Mario.
That's exactly right. Yeah. Especially, I don't know. Have you seen a lot of video game specific movies, like adapted movies that have been video games?
I'm trying to think.
Because a lot of them don't do well, but there's a handful that you're like, all right, that's cool.
I think the last one I saw was Uncharted with Tom Holland. And yeah. I like that one. That was just on Netflix though. I haven't seen in the theater. I'm trying to think. I know which ones I remember that were terrible, and that was Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, I didn't like that one all that well. I didn't really like Uncharted all that well, but
really,
anyway,
I'm a big Tom Holland homer and a Mark Wahlberg homer, so both of them are in it, so I'm gonna enjoy it.
Exactly.
What else? I never saw any of the Tomb Raider ones with Jolie.
I didn't watch.
Were those any good?
I watched the new remake that they did, not new, but the latest remake they did of Tomb Raider. I thought that was pretty good, but I never watched the Jolie ones. I think those were more like special effects, like when they were coming out with special effects in the 2000s, like all the like polygons and stuff. Like that was like their franchise to like push that on. But I didn't get around to that one. Or the Resident Evil movies. You ever watch those? The zombie ones?
Yeah. Never did. Were they good though?
No, not at all. But that was that one franchise. I was like, wow, this is
the one TV show that I watched that was adapted from a video game was The Witcher. I like the first season of that. That was
Witcher's
cool.
Good. That's also based on the books too, but the games are dope. I like that.
Sonic supposedly was pretty good.
Sonic 1. Yeah, that's right. I almost forgot about that one. Sonic 1 did really good. I don't know how it happened to Sonic 2. I'm pretty sure it did well. But it was really good. Even with all the flack that they gave it. I don't know if you heard the first time they had to like reanimate Sonic because the first version looked so ugly and gross that the audience was like, what are you doing? Go back. so they had to redo
tell me this, Chris. What is a video game from your youth that you wish would make a movie? They would make a movie about?
I don't know that I wish they could make a movie, but I don't know if you ever played Banjo-Kazooie. That was the game, man. When I was a kid, that was the game. It was the bird had the bear, the bear had the bird in the backpack. It was like really goofy. That was the game. The ones that they've done already, the Halo show, that was hot garbage. That was such a disappointment. And I love the Halo series. Like I grew up playing that, but they just shat the bed on the show.
I think they made a movie out of this one, but I think they could make a really sick one if they really tried to. And that's Zelda.
Yeah.
I don't understand why that, because Zelda was like the game back in the day.
It was.
And there's just so much they could do with it. I feel like now with the way animation is and story writing and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, they got to keep it animated. If they try to do that live action stuff, I don't know about that, but keep it animated and we'll be good, And the other thing is like they don't have voices in those games. So you really got to be careful.
Yeah.
Who they choose to do the voices. If it's like, if they end up being like, I don't know, something like Tom Holland doing Link, I don't know. I don't know if I'd watch that.
No, they would get your generic European white to do somebody. That has kind of like a regal British or accent. It's kind of sword wielding type. Voice.
Yeah. That's funny. Is there a game that you played a bunch other than Zelda?
So I actually was all into sports games. I used to play all these sports games. Mario was probably Mario, Duck Hunt. I'm talking about like Nintendo days. Right. Mario, Duck Hunt were probably the two that were like non-sports that I would play, but everything else was just sports games.
Big Madden 2K guy and
nowadays, but back then it was like
Knockout.
EA, play Knockout? EA Sport. Yeah, Mike Tyson Punch Out was dope.
Punch Out, that's what it is.
They had this like Olympic. I don't know if you remember in Nintendo, they had like this pad that you could connect into your Super Nintendo, and you could like run on it, and you could play the Olympic game. That was pretty fire. So I used to do that a lot. But I'm actually not huge into video games since. Like I just play sports games every now and then, but I never got into like deep into the storylines of
Right.
video games and stuff like that.
No, I was that
You seem
kid.
like you got into
I was that kid. I didn't go outside. I was an only child. So I just played video games a bunch. And then now lately, and then my cousins played video games when I go to their house. It was just a way to bond.
Yeah.
And so now that's like all we talk about is video games. And I still play video games. I'm like the
Did
Call
you
of Duty
ever
kid.
think when you were young, sitting there with your sticks, playing with your cousins and stuff, that if you took it really, really serious, you could become a millionaire playing video games?
Not even in the slightest did I have the idea that this was going to be huge and there's going to be championships. I can't keep up now. Now I'm like, I can't even. You just like, spawn and you're dead.
Ma, I'm doing research.
Yes, I'm training. No, I would have never thought that I would have been like that, man. And I don't even know if I have the coordination to get that good. You know what I mean? Like, especially as a kid.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, clearly there's kids that are doing it, but I think like, what's his name, Ninja? Like he makes like 30 million a year or something like that now, just from streaming. And and you don't, and it's funny, you don't even really need to like be good at the game as far as like beat people and all that kind of stuff. As long as you have a personality and you can stream and you're somewhat like and like entertaining with it, like now with streaming and all that kind of stuff.
Definitely, I tried it. I tried it back in the day, maybe a couple years ago. It's hard because you have to do it consistently. And then even when nobody's watching, or you get one or two watchers, you still gotta like keep the energy and keep it going. Yeah. And after a while, you're like, I'm kind of just talking to myself right now.
Right.
It's hard to.
You gotta stick with it, just like anything else, right?
Yeah,
you never know when one of your clips will go viral, or when like you catch on to the right fan base, or when you figure it out yourself and it just clicks.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you gonna go end up watching Mario?
I probably will. I probably will try to do it this coming weekend, actually, because I think I'm gonna have some free time this coming weekend.
Nice.
Been busy the last couple ones. So.
Gotcha. You taking wifey or no?
Oh yeah, we love going to random movies and stuff like that.
Is she a Mario fan as well?
I think so. I don't know if she played the games, but I think she's like down for any kind of goofy movie. We did the Dungeons and Dragons movie a couple weeks ago. That one was fire. Nice. Pretty good, man.
Speaking about wifeys, we're gonna play a game right now. Foul or nah. So I know you're not much of a sports person, and you don't know who Ashraf Hakimi is, but he currently plays for PSG, Paris Saint-Germain.
Sure.
He's a huge soccer player, footballer, right? He just recently, I don't know if you probably didn't watch the World Cup either, but his team in Morocco was like the Cinderella team. They made it to the quarterfinals. So anyways, he made the news, and we got to shout out to our king, because Hakimi did something that I think might change the game in some time. So anyways, so he recently was divorced from his ex-wife now, Hiba Abouk. She's a beautiful, beautiful queen, Spanish actress. So anyways, through the divorce proceedings, right, she is wanting to claim half of what his earnings are and stuff like that. He makes a lot of money playing soccer, by the way, Chris. He makes £1 million per month.
Jesus Christ.
All right. So he makes quite a lot of money. He's a really, really good soccer player. But anyways, through these proceedings, what she found was our king Hakimi has no houses in his name, no cars in his name, no jewelry in his name, no assets in his name, and very, very little money in his name. So they asked, where did all the money go? You're making £1 million per month just from the team, not to mention endorsements, not to mention sponsorships, all this kind of stuff.
Right.
So our king was taking all of the money and putting it in his mother's name. So his mother owns all the houses. His mother owns all the cars. His mother owns all of his assets, and has a majority of his money is all in his mother's name. So my question to you is, fair or foul
That's
for
fair.
what Akimi did.
100% fair. Are you kidding me?
Talk about a king.
Are you kidding me? I think there was somebody else. I want to say somebody in the NFL that said, don't put anything in your name. Put it at the bare minimum in an LLC. That way they don't come after your personal assets. It's the business stuff, and you can't touch the business stuff. Like him giving it to his mom. First of all, you got to have a trustworthy mom. If you think your mom's shady, like you about to lose everything. But if you're cool with your moms, or even like come up with a contract, whatever, that is genius. I would definitely do that. I think I am going to do that. I'm going to call my mom right now, hold my debit card, hold the 57 cents of the checking, because if someone comes after it, you going to have it. That's genius.
Wow.
That's probably, he gave it all to his mom? Like everything was under the mom's
Well,
name?
I mean, I think he was taking 80-90% of his checks, and it was getting deposited straight into her account. And but all the assets and everything is in his mom's name. And I don't think this is like he always did this. I think once he started realizing the divorce was going to happen, he did all of these moves.
Right.
But it was like well before that divorce actually happened and all that kind of stuff. So it's not really like it's not. He did it all before they officially got divorced and all that. So she really has no access because he did it all kind of legally, quote unquote. Let me tell you why this guy is about to be goated and all of Mandem.
Mandem.
So,
I like that.
So she's not like broke. She's an actress.
Right.
So he did the ultimate reverse Uno card because she went into the proceedings and now she is valued more than he is.
Right.
So now she has to pay for all his legal fees.
Oh,
and now she has to give him half.
I didn't even think about that.
Of everything that she owns. Because in actuality, he's worth more than he is on paper. So not only is this dude balling because he just put everything in his mama's name and him and mama are like this.
Right.
He gets half of what she's worth because on paper he don't own nothing.
Genius.
Oh, wow.
And they didn't sign a prenup or what?
No prenup.
No prenups. Well, they're always gambling.
What? I gotta say, look, she tried to, and I don't know, like we're just reading reports. We're obviously very cursory to this thing, but if she seemed to be putting the pressure to try to get this the 50% settlement and whatnot. She tried to come up on him for marriage and whatnot, but the fact now that she's gonna have to give up half, or at least some of these reports are saying she might have to give up half. That's just funny. It's really about how petty Akimi wants to be, right?
Really,
if he wants to be super petty, he'd be like, "Nah, you give me half. You try to go after everything I have. Now I'm gonna go after everything you have."
Yeah, now it's your turn. This article on Marca.com says Abuk has a reported net worth of about $2 million and would have received $8.5 million if Akimi owned his assets. It's like, that's
so she thought she was about to be worth $11 million, and now she might be.
She lost.
Now she might be worth less than $1 million.
That's so funny, dude.
That's funny. Yeah, I mean, but look, I think there's a lot of men that are going around and they're like, "Yo, I see all these memes on the internet. I see all of these like videos and reels and TikToks being made. Let me warn my American brethren. This might not work for you." And Chris, you mentioned it a little bit earlier because like something about these other cultures. So he comes from a Moroccan family, right? Comes from a very, Muslim family. I come from an Indian family. These families that like cultural families, the bond when it comes to family is much different than in America. So you mentioned like you start giving your whole net worth to your mom. in our culture, that's just like, all right, beautiful. He says, I just have to ask my mom for anything and she'll buy it for me, kind of
Correct.
thing. But you start beefing with your mom in America and she has all your money.
This goes right back to you don't tell me what to do, Mom. You're not the boss of me.
But you are, because you got all the money. You might not want to go back. You might not want to go back to that place where it's like, if I got all the money in my bank account, you got to live by my rules, type of thing.
Yes, yes. If you're arguing with your mama, that's not worth it. Go find a sofa somewhere, put it under the sofa. But you argue with your mama. That's the white family, right? That's like the white family going, this is my room. This is my space. You can't enter it. Don't tell me what to do. No, forget it. Forget it. It's over. You lost all your money.
Yo.
That's so funny,
all I want to know is, Mama Akimi, is you single or is you not? Because right. Mama Akimi is the come up right now. Like, that's Mama Akimi, holla at me. Like, I'm young. You know, I'm very low
I'm vibrant, full of life.
Yes, absolutely. Look, I will sit there and support our son together.
There you go.
Our son Akimi. Look, I don't know what his father figures are like and all that kind of stuff. Clearly, he was raised right because he be thinking. He's a thinking man.
Right.
But I'm just saying, Mama Akimi, she's the most eligible woman on the planet right now.
Right. I don't know if Pops is still in the... well, his father's listed on Google, so we'll see. You might have some competition.
Yeah.
The father. But
clearly he trusts Mama more than he trusts Pops.
Right, exactly. Yeah, that is something too. He specifically chose Mom. He's like, here, hold on to this real quick. That's funny. He's a good looking dude too. He's only 24.
Yeah. That's
24
what I'm saying.
Years old, divorced, and worth 16, 17 million. What the
Living
hell?
the dream. Living the dream.
Must be nice.
He ain't worth nothing. His mama's worth 16, 17 mil.
His mom worth 16, 17 mil. That's wild, dude. Must be nice, man.
He over here on the allowance.
Yeah.
He got the most expensive allowance of all time.
That's wild. Are you gonna get a prenup if you get married?
Nah.
No?
I wouldn't. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I know it's smart, like financially and all that kind of stuff. But for me, I can't even imagine getting a divorce. You know, like I'm so particular when it comes to even being in a relationship, who I spend to. So I feel like if I ever got to the point that, I want to marry this woman, I'm hoping, knock on wood, that like I did everything to the point and it's the right person for me. And yeah, I don't know. I just, for me, Chris, I always wondered, like, how do you have that conversation? I think we've talked about it. You said you'd do it, right?
Yeah, we've talked about it. It's not much like a this is mine, that's yours kind of thing. It's more like I'm respectful of the success that you made, and I want it to be yours. And if it's something that's because we're both like got specific goals in life, and so far we're hitting those goals. And it comes the day that we make it to the big time, and our businesses are worth X amount of dollars. That should be yours. You worked hard for that. That's your success. Your success is yours, and I respect it. It doesn't come from like a, this is mine kind of thing. This is I support you kind of thing. You know what I mean? So, and that's ultimately like joint bank accounts. Even that sounds complicated, because then it's like, how come you spend so much money on McDonald's or whatever? You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to argue about money, so I just keep it civil. You know what I mean? Keep it respectful.
You're right. I mean, I think financially is probably the number one reason for why relationships sour in the first place. But, I think it might be just coming from a different culture. We don't really, no, divorce isn't like from my parents' generation. It's like never happens. Obviously growing up in America, there's more of it. It's more prevalent, even in our culture. But yeah, I don't know. Look, getting married seems so distant to me right now, Chris. Even like thinking about, I got to find somebody that's willing to say yes before I can get them to say yes to a prenup on top of that. You know what I mean? So, we'll see. Yeah, like I don't envision it, but who knows? Maybe they'd want one. Hopefully I come up, man.
Could be. Yeah.
Hopefully
What happens? What happens if they say I want a prenup? What are you gonna say?
I'd say yeah. I mean, to me, like I've never been in, and maybe I've never been in a relationship that ended where I felt like I wanted something. Like like I never. I don't feel that type of way. Like for me, I'm more hurt from the loss of the relationship, not like the materialistic things around it. And so it would just, that wouldn't be a tough decision for me. I'd be like,
yeah,
cool.
Exactly.
Because if she's asking for a prenup, that means she got it. So I'm gonna just put in and do my part to make sure she never wants to leave, Chris. Because at the end of the day, boy got bands. Like keep me. I would love to be a kept man. Let's just play with let's just use my money off of play. You pay all the bills. You do all of this, and then put me on allowance. Just like I gotta have all of it.
So you cool with having an allowance? That's cool.
It's just some of it. You know what I mean? All just some of it. I get what mine's mine. What yours is yours plus a little bit there for me. You know what I mean? Like that's all. That's all yes. That's all I ask for.
That's funny. There you go, man. That's the dream. The dream.
Yeah. In actuality, Chris, if a woman comes up to me and asks me for a prenup, I think I'm doing pretty well at that moment.
Yeah, I'm there you go.
That's a good sign. It's like, the fact that you got something to protect, your boy's doing well.
There you go. Perfect. That's funny, dude.
Cool, man. Well, what you got going on for the rest of the week?
I'm back home, working from home, just trying to finish a bunch of projects, bunch of personal projects. I'm off to the races, man. I'm down to trying to organize my days to the minute, not the minute. Let me say the hour. I won't say the minute. That's a little too much. But I'm trying to organize my days where I even organize dinner time, TV time, all that stuff. Cause I feel like I'm almost 30. My birthday's in December. I want to have something set up by the time I'm 30 and then spend my 30s finishing building the empire. So that way 40 comes around, I'm set. I got the house, I got the whatever, I got the this. You know what I mean? So
that's what's up.
Yeah.
What how you gonna bring in your 30s? Is this like a year that you feel like you'd want to celebrate properly?
I want to go big. My family and I were talking about this because I got cousins who were born the same year I was. So my cousin's having her 30th in July. My cousin who's 10 years older than me is having her 40th 2 weeks after my birthday in December.
Okay.
So we're all let's all have just a big old bash in the middle of December. We'll go to the desert or something. We'll rent the house. We'll just
little Coachella vibes.
Crazy. Little Coachella vibes, but off Coachella season, because I don't want to be out there in the heat and doing all that stuff. I'll do it smart and do it in December. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, that's cool, man. Yeah, 30 is 30's interesting, right? Because some people look at 30 and they're all excited about it. And then some people look at that as the start of getting old. You know what I mean?
Right.
How do you view it?
Age is nothing but a number. This is just what do you call it? Not a landmark, but
milestone.
A milestone in the journey. That's all it is. I don't think it's old. I don't think it's young. I think it's just 30.
But it's the way you're approaching it is really really good. I think that a lot of people take longer to kind of figure things out as far as where they want to be in life, financially, relationship wise, all that kind of stuff. Seems like you're going in, you already got your girl, you're starting to build your business, and like you said, you have kind of a goal to hit by the end of the year, so that you can really just be focusing on that in your 40s. It's a good mentality to have instead of still trying to figure out what do I want to do with my life and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I've spent most of my 20s doing the what do I want to do with my life thing. So I think I finally got the picture, the idea, and I'm off to the races. So
what's cool? I think one of the reasons why you're a little more mature, because I think I spent a lot of my early 30s still trying to figure out what I wanted to do financially. I never was struggling financially, but I also never like really had a quote unquote career that I thought I wanted to stick with and all this kind of stuff. And I do think that a lot of people that I've noticed that got into relationships earlier, like, or stable relationships in their 20s and stuff like that, seem to have a lot more figured out than people that like were dolo. Because I think like it's probably similar type, what's it called, disciplines to be in a successful relationship as to being a successful career, successful,
Right.
all that other type of stuff too.
Yeah.
How much do you think like just not having to like chase quote unquote women,
Right. I feel like
helped you and all that?
I don't know if that had a factor in it. I feel like it wasn't like a pressure. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't like, oh, I better do this, otherwise, you know, my girl might leave me. You know what I mean? Kind of thing. But I feel like it was just A, one less thing to worry about. B, it's something you want to do better, not only for yourself, but for that other person. You know what I mean? I think that's also a big factor in it. So yeah, I think that's more of what it is. I think it's a positive foundation and support versus like I better do this, otherwise she's leaving me kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like it's.
Well, I looked at it more that, you know, I think a lot of people do a lot of stupid shit in their 20s and their 30s trying to impress women and trying to like chase and all that kind of stuff. I was thinking more just because you didn't really have to do that because you already had your girl. You know what I mean? You're not out here like in these streets trying to like focus on, oh, how do I get a girl or how do I do this? And that stuff's already figured out that like, you know, you have more time to kind of just chill and focus and maybe not go through all of that ups and downs that I think a lot of men do. Because you look at like the struggles of men, right? Or whatever, like you see it on social media and all that kind of stuff. It's never the dude that has the girl and's happy in relationship, all that kind of stuff. It's always talking about like, the guys that are still looking for a girl. Yeah. Like, how do you, like the whole manosphere is like, how do you, what's it called? Like, overcome and get a girl to do what you want and all that kind of stuff. It's like, yo, the happy men ain't making TikToks. You know what I mean? The happy relationship, they ain't doing that kind of stuff.
There's a fair point there. I don't know. I never really thought about it. I just don't. It's just one less thing that's on my mind, you know? So
clearly you didn't have to think about it. It's there.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know.
Cool, man. Well, next week, I know Kelby's coming back. Yeah, I guess that's pretty much it for this show. Anything else you wanted to talk about?
No, just make sure you subscribe, follow, leave comments, tell us we're good, we suck. I don't really care. We don't really care, good or bad comments. A comment is a comment. Yeah, follow us on Instagram at MOI Podcast. And then everywhere else is MOI Podcast Network. What is it?
I think that's just YouTube, but
YouTube is Men on the Internet Network. We should really figure out ourselves. On the end card, you'll see it. At the end of this episode, you'll see it. It's posted there. So, and all our links are in the description. So, yeah, we'll see y'all next week with the full band. We'll get Kilby some water and a towel. So, peace.
Thanks for listening. If you like what you saw, please make sure to subscribe to us on Instagram at MOI Podcast. And please check us out on our YouTube channel by searching Men on the Internet Network.